You already know, deep in your body, in your sleep, in the way your jaw locks at 3 a.m. The situation is killing you, and yet you stay. Not because you're stupid, not because you're weak, but because something in your mind whispers a quiet, dangerous lie. One more conversation, one more breakthrough, one more insight. And then all this pain will finally make sense. Here's the paradox most videos on this topic completely miss. Smart people don't get trapped by bad situations. They get trapped by the belief that their intelligence should be able to solve them. Your mind becomes the cage. Your analysis becomes the chain. And the smarter you are, the tighter it pulls. Most advice tells you to just leave, but that advice has never met a high IQ brain in love with its own theories. So let's do something different. Let's dissect why your intelligence has become the warden of your own prison. Start here. There's a researcher named Christopher Olivola. He studies something called the interpersonal sunk cost effect. His finding is brutal. People don't stay in failing relationships because the relationship is still good. They stay because of what they already poured in. The years, the fights, the forgiveness, the waiting. Each invested year becomes another brick in the wall around you. And eventually you're not protecting a relationship anymore. You're protecting the investment. Same with the job. Same with the friendship that hollowed you out. Same with the identity you've worn for a decade, like a suit 2 sizes too small. You're not staying for the present. You're staying for the past. Now layer in Leon Festinger. He coined cognitive dissonance back in the 1950s. 2 thoughts collide inside your skull. Thought 1, I'm intelligent. I make good decisions. Thought 2, I'm standing in a place that's slowly destroying me. Those 2 thoughts cannot coexist. Your nervous system experiences this collision as pure static. Static the brain cannot tolerate. So it does something quietly devastating. It rewrites the environment instead of rewriting your behavior. They didn't mean it that way. The company is going through a transition. It's not that bad compared to last year. You're not lying. You're surviving. Your brain is choosing rationalization over relocation because rewriting reality is cheaper than rebuilding a life, or so it feels. Now let's add the 3rd layer. Stephen Hobfall, conservation of resources theory. He found something almost cruel about human psychology. Once you've invested heavily in something, leaving doesn't feel like freedom. It feels like catastrophic loss. Loss of time. Loss of status. Loss of the version of you who built it. So what do people do? They pour in even more. More effort, more patience, more late-night conversations that go nowhere, trying to recover what is already gone. Like a gambler doubling down on a losing hand. Only the chips are pieces of your life. And now the deepest mechanism of them all. Anna Freud called it intellectualization. Valent tracked it for decades in Harvard's longitudinal study. It's the favorite defense mechanism of analytical minds. Here's how it works. Pain shows up at the door. Instead of feeling it, you study it. You diagnose the other person. You map their childhood wounds. You decode their attachment style at 2 a.m. You read every book about narcissism, codependency, trauma bonds. You become the world's leading expert on the system that's destroying you. And here's the trick. Understanding the dysfunction starts to feel like solving it. It isn't. It's anesthesia. Your intelligence becomes a syringe, and every insight is one more dose that lets you stay another day. Now zoom out. Why is your brain wired like this? Why doesn't it just let you walk away? Go back 200,000 years. Your ancestors didn't have the luxury of quitting. If they spent 3 weeks tracking prey across the savannah, abandoning that hunt meant starvation. If they invested an entire season building shelter, walking away meant death by winter. Persistence after major investment wasn't a virtue. It was survival. So evolution sculpted a brain that hates abandoning costly pursuits. A brain that feels physical revulsion at the thought of walking away from sunk effort. Useful in the wild, catastrophic in modern life. Because you're not tracking an antelope anymore. You're stuck in a marriage that ended emotionally 3 years ago. Or a career that contradicts every value you have. Or an identity built to please people you no longer respect. Your hunter-gatherer wiring keeps whispering, don't quit, you've come too far. But the savannah is gone, and the prize at the end of this hunt is your own erosion. Now here's the counterintuitive part most people refuse to hear. Smart people don't stay because of low self-worth. That's the comfortable explanation. The real reason is darker. It's a quiet form of cognitive arrogance. The hidden belief that says, if I understand this deeply enough, I should be able to fix it. Read that again? Your staying isn't humility. It's a refusal to accept that some systems cannot be solved by you. Some people cannot be fixed by your insight. Some situations are not problems, they are environments. And environments don't get debugged, they get exited. Let me give you a picture of how this looks in real life. Think of a software engineer named Daniel. He's been at the same company for 7 years. His manager publicly humiliates him in every meeting. His chest tightens before every Monday stand-up. He hasn't slept properly in 2 years. But Daniel doesn't quit. Daniel writes long Notion documents. He maps his manager's psychological wounds. He builds elaborate communication frameworks. He listens to leadership podcasts on his commute. He thinks, if I can just decode this, I can survive it. 7 years. 7 years of brilliant analysis applied to a situation that needed one decision. Leave. But Daniel can't see that, because in his mind, leaving means he failed to solve it. And his entire identity is built on being the one who solves things. This is the sunk cost identity, and it's probably running your life right now. So here's the framework to break it. I call it the project versus reality audit. 3 questions. Brutal, surgical, designed for high IQ minds. Question 1. Am I staying because this is healthy now? Or am I staying because I've already invested too much to quit? Notice the word now. Not 3 years ago when it started well. Not next month when they promised it would improve. Now. If the answer is the second option, you are not in a relationship. You are in a refund attempt. Question 2. Am I observing what's happening? Or am I anesthetizing myself by analyzing why it's happening? This is the intellectualization trap. Observation says, they yelled at me. That hurt. Analysis says, they yelled because their father was distant in 1987. One protects you, the other postpones you. Question 3, the deadliest one. If nothing ever changed from this exact point forward, would I still call this acceptable? Not the fantasy version, not the potential version. This version, frozen, forever. If your stomach dropped reading that, you already have your answer. Here's what most smart people don't realize. You think you're making a rational long-term investment, but you're not investing. You're paying for a past mistake with future years you can never get back. And here's the deeper wound underneath all of this. When you stay in places that keep violating who you are, something shifts. It stops feeling like the wrong job or the wrong relationship. It starts feeling like you are the strange one. Like maybe the world fits everyone else just fine and never quite fit you. Watch the next video. It's about exactly that feeling.